Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno, and we're in for trouble today as we attend the world premiere of Horrid Henry, the movie 3D.
My name's Henry, but everyone calls me
Horrid Henry.
Welcome to my world. That's Perfect Peter, aka my wormy worm little brother. Henry's not doing his homework.
Henry!
But I can deal with him.
The part I'm playing in the film is called Rich Aunt Ruby. She's very posh and very grumpy, and she's got a very posh son, played by the man who, the boy, but probably a man now, who's does that Numbers, who's a really talented actor.
I play stuck-up Steve in the movie, and he's Perfect Peter and Horrid Henry's cousin, and he's not very nice, and he's a bit of a snob.
How do you prepare for something like that?
Well, I just walked around with my nose in the air for a few weeks, I suppose.
You weren't in the method?
No, I wasn't quite there.
I love doing children's things. There's something a little bit mad about me, so I think children, if they do like me, they do like me. And now, of course, being middle-aged, I can come in on the kind of older, I'm poised for children's work now. That's me.
What's it like acting with children? Are they, because they are fearless, are they constantly in the moment?
The children were very excitable, and I remember they behave well, but they don't stop talking. So you've got this, it's like having little canaries all around you, just and then if you say something they particularly like, they mimic you, and then they mimic you for quite a long time, like all day. So then you have to go, they're children, it's okay, bless them.
The film's very surreal, isn't it? Were you conscious of that? How sort of dark and surreal the moments are in the film when you first sort of read the script?
Well, I actually was in one of the surreal scenes. It's kind of like a dream, one of Horrid Henry's dreams. So there was sort of fire in it and ropes and stuff. So it is all quite surreal, and I quite like that, yeah.
Why do I want to do my homework? I'm way too busy being a rock star. Introducing public enemy number one, Moody Margaret. I hate you, Henry!
So what was it like being in Horrid Henry?
Unbelievable, absolutely surreal. I still can't quite believe it's happened actually. But now I'm just so excited that it's finally going to be out and everyone's going to see it. It's just such a great experience for everyone.
And tell us what it was like playing Moody Margaret.
Well, it was just really fun, and I felt like I could act her, because she's a really fun person to act, and I learned a lot more about her, and she's just a great person. I like her. She's very cool.
I'm in the final scene and I just dance and a little bit of, I think I've got a little acting role, no speaking though in this film. Yeah.
So how did you learn all that? Because it was pretty incredible, wasn't it, what you did?
Yeah. I taught myself how to dance off YouTube. I just taught myself watching YouTube and all different videos.
So how did you get involved with being in the film then?
Well, I got to dance, and since that I've been doing lots of things. I was in Street Dance 3D, now Horrid Henry 3D, and now I just finished filming Street Dance 2 3D as well.
You get to play two very dark characters, don't you, in this film?
Yeah, it's a little bit more dark and sinister, and a bit more kind of, I don't know, Tim Burton-esque, our characters. I mean, they're high energy, they're a bit wacky, but there's something slightly uneasy about them as well.
They do, you know, I must admit, when I was watching it, they're slightly uncomfortable, aren't they?
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, well, we get quite close and in their faces, and we're meant to be all the kids' ultimately favourite show. But when you watch it, you're thinking, why is this kid's favourite show? It's just weird.
What you'll see is we are game show hosts like we have been on television, but you'll see it in a slightly different vein. But nothing too sinister. It's fun as well at the same time.
Do you think as well, this role sort of giving you a chance to sort of be more theatrical and really play up what you do?
Well, yes, it's definitely the next step on for us into the world of acting. You know, we've done a couple of kids' shows like The Legend of Dick and Dom, where we've acted alongside some really great actors. And then doing things like this, we were actually, before you knew it, acting alongside Angelica Houston, which was a real pleasure. And we learned an awful lot from her.
We spent hours at home getting into the part, lovey.
Yeah, how can we get into the role of a mad children's presenter? We just had troubles coming up with that.
I mean, Angelica Houston, I mean, she's just so iconic. To be honest, I had to look and go, God, that looks like Angelica Houston. But no, it won't be. And then when the credits came up, it was incredible. So what was it like learning from her?
Well, yeah, we were in a scene with her on set, and it was amazing to watch how she got into character as soon as the studio door opened. So she'd walk through as the teacher in the film, Miss Battleaxe, with the Scottish accent and everything. And so that's how she'd talk to you on set as well.
But also the prosthetics and the wig and the makeup was so good, and the costume, that actually at first we really weren't sure whether that actually was her or not. And we had met her a couple of times beforehand, and because everything was so perfect and she was such a good actress, we just didn't know.
Henry? And the worst teacher in the whole wide world, Miss Battleaxe. All she ever wants is my homework. No! I haven't got my homework, miss. Detention.
You look very snazzy today, don't you?
Yeah.
I have to say, the hat looks fantastic.
Yeah, special occasions.
Special hats. It certainly is. What's it like being in Horrid Henry?
Well, it's pretty cool because you meet all these famous people and well, it's just great going out of school and doing what I love doing.
I was very surprised to see you playing a dad.
Yeah, you're not the only one. Yeah, no, it's nice though. It's kind of nice to feel like there are roles beyond being a boy, and good to exercise my paternal side.
It's a very visual film. Was it you conscious about how visual it was when you took on the role?
Yeah, I mean, when you're doing something in 3D, you're very conscious about the size of your head. So
this is your first film, so what was it like coping with all that dialogue?
It was pretty hard, but you know, if I just listen to it over and over again, you get used to it and you just remember it.
And what was it like acting with some very, very big actors?
Pretty cool. Dick and Dom are pretty well-known people, and they're pretty funny how they act and how they express their feelings.
Has the 3D sort of filming experience made any difference to you as an actor and performer?
It's really interesting to watch. I mean, I'm not very technical at all, so I was just quite interested by these huge lenses kind of coming together at funny angles and things. So it's quite intriguing to see how it works. But I don't know whether on my first day of filming, my daughter said to me, does this mean you have to act in 3D? And I was going to point out that I always try and act in 3D, but then I thought, actually, maybe it does. Maybe there is a different way of doing it, so I'll let you know after the film.
And you got to act with Richard E. Grant as well.
Yeah, and I found out 2 facts about him. One, the E means nothing in his name, and 2, he loves watching Celebrity Jungle, but he never goes on it because he says I'm not famous enough. And that just cracked me up.
Acting alongside children, is it totally different to adults in the respect that they're fearless and they just take on the part and they're just in the moment, really?
that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, and they have a sort of a lack of self-awareness, a lack of vanity, I suppose, that I think as you get older you get more of, and I think it's really important not to have that, particularly when you're doing comedy, because if there's any sense that you're feeling insecure about what you're doing, then you will lose something. And they do have a fearlessness and an energy which I really found I sort of learned from, to be honest.
Now, the film is seen from Henry's point of view. So, do you take the aspect of the film from a different perspective in the way you portray your character because of that?
I think not really, because I think you always try to look at the script through your character's point of view, because that's what you would do in real life, obviously. Now, clearly, this is not the most naturalistic of performances, and the whole film is, you know, wild and wacky, but nevertheless, you always approach every part the same, which is who is that character and what's she thinking.
And what did you specifically want to make of the character, and what was it that you found about her that you wanted to portray her?
I wanted her not to be too scary. I think she's, you know, Angelica Houston's character kind of does the battle act scary thing. So Miss Oddbod had to be authoritative but a bit ditzy, which is how she comes across in the script. So that's what we went for with the crazy hair and little glasses and things. She's just a bit all over the place.
This lovely? Oh yeah, and that's the grossest goo ever.
Oh, nice one, Henry.
It must have been a hell of a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really, really great. You know, Horrid Henry is a great thing to be associated with and everything like that. But it was really fun. Made some great friends on set.
and all the scenes are amazing, like doing my own stunts, things like that, you know.
I was going to say, because you got to prove all your talents, sing, dance and play air guitar. What was that like?
Oh, it was pretty cool. You know, they never asked me if I could do those things. I just jumped in and did it. You know, it's pretty crazy.
Was it pretty daunting for you, because Horrid Henry was such a huge name anyway?
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, when I first auditioned, like Horrid Henry the movie, that's amazing. I'm gonna watch that anyway. You know, that's what it's like. And then when I got the role, it was great. I wasn't really sure it'd be this big or anything. I wasn't sure much about it. But I was actually auditioning for Rude Ralph and Horrid Henry, so I wasn't sure which one I was going to get, but Horrid Henry, man. Yeah.
This is quite surreal, the film, isn't it? It's quite dark in places.
Yeah, well, I think the movie is so much like a cartoon, actually. The way it's shot, it's like a comic book, you know, that's what it's like. And so it's really cool. It was really bright and colourful, and the 3D works amazing. 3D, that's what it's all about, because I think some movies that are all in 3D, because they're all in 3D now, they don't really like stand out as 3D. This one is all about.
Oh, why is it always me?
I hear Ashton Primary's closing down.
Dark forces are at work, Henry.
All those children will be paying me lots of money to come here to Brick House School.
I'm not going to that mouldy old brick house.
Can you share with us that your experience as an editor, has that given you the experience really to set up this film for being so visual?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think as an editor, the thing that you get is that you know that you've got it when you're shooting it. You know, it's like watching dailies. You say, oh, there it is, and then you can move on. So there's that confidence that you get. As for being visual, I guess I've just been lucky over the years. I've been exposed to so many different visual styles that I've absorbed some.
You've acted before, but how's it been like turning your talents to the big screen?
It's quite exciting, actually, doing a proper film. Like, I do feel quite excited to go in and watch it, and I haven't seen it. So it's going to be a first for me as well, which is quite scary. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it finish. But no, it was really fun. I kind of felt like I fell straight back into it, actually, because I had done so much before the group. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I was wondering as well, when you're making the film, when you're on set, because you're realising how much you don't want to leave on the cutting room floor, does that make you more economic with how you choose your shots?
Well, yes, and you also have to be with a film like this, because you're so restricted with time. Because the amount of time you have the children or don't have them, you have to be very prepared.
I was going to say, is there a change in schedule? Because obviously you can spend lots of time on set. Do you have to be wary of time because of working with children?
You do. I mean, basically we worked every day. We worked. So, okay, we got Theo from 11 till 11:15, and then he has to go to school, and so we just had to work within those parameters.
And historically as well, the theme song that you've sung contributes a lot to the success of a film. Were you conscious of that when you recorded it?
I knew that it was obviously a great track and a really feel-good song, and I knew what they had planned for that particular sequence, so I was like quite confident in it. But we've done a very different modern version of the track, so yeah, we're pleased with how it's turned out, yeah, and it's a nice end to the film, so yeah.
It definitely gives it a very uplifting end, doesn't it?
So yeah, I think so, which is nice. Everybody can have a little bit of a boogie on the way out of the cinema.
And you're working with 3D for the first time as a director. What made you want to go down that route, and how does it enhance the story?
It was a bonus for me. I mean, I wanted to make the film, and they said, we want to make it in 3D, and I said, well, hurrah, I'll embrace that. Oddly, donkeys years ago, when I was a student, I made a 3D film, very rudimentary one, and I showed it here at the BFI, so it's kind of like
it's a homecoming.
Full circle, yeah, I know.
And Kimberley, you got to play with with the youngest member of the cast. What was that like?
Oh, they were so cute. We had twins playing Vomiting Vera, so we kept swapping between them. But they were so well behaved. I mean, I did have to do a little bit of like bobbing through the scenes just to try and keep her looking in the right place. It was a challenge, but it was nice, and I love kids, so I actually quite enjoyed that part of it. Getting cuddles all day.
This summer,
It's our school. We can't let anyone take that away from us.
save the day.
What's she doing here?
I'm here to help you come up with a plan to save the school, that's what.
Eureka!
The Horrid Way. What does that horrid boy think he's doing?
Go, Henry! Nothing can stop me.
In your own time, girls?
Don't even think about laughing.
Well, it's hot and it's sunny down here in the South Bank, and definitely too cool for school. I'm Claire Bueno, and you're watching Premier Scene.
Angelica Houston.
Time you're taught to listen.
Richard E. Grant. Dick and Dom.
And introducing Theo Stevenson as Horrid Henry. Horrid Henry, the movie, in 3D.
Just what do you think you're doing?